Are we there yet? Welcome back, guys, to Fog Entertainment. We're almost at the end of Dexter Season 8. It's episode 8 of the season. I say we're almost at the end. Didn't want to be at the end, but it is a shame that with Season 8, it kind of just went off the rails at this point. Now, the estimated number of viewers for the episode when it first aired was 1.94 million. We begin the episode. Dexter is taking pictures of Cassie's crime scene. Of course, she has been bludgeoned to death, and he's like, Zach probably did this, although the murder weapon is a swan statuette. And then he keeps thinking of Hannah, so he's not thinking straight at this point. Masuka probably ventures, what about the guy she was dating? Turns out the guy she was dating was Oliver Saxon, but he's apparently got an alibi. He was coming to pick up Cassie, but he had a building inspection, adding, I'm a structural engineer, damn it. Jamie Batista, obviously a wee bit inconsolable about this, because it was her friend, she set up a date between her and Dexter. Oh no. Dexter then collects a sample of blood from under Cassie's fingernails. Let's see how that ends up. Angel tells Deb that if you want to come back to the department, the door is open. Come on, Deb. Come on back in. Dexter then meets with Hannah at Fiesta Marina. I mean, it looks like they're going to get a new passport for her and they're going to escape. And he's like, did you clean it all with bleach? Well done. Well done to you. But at this stage of the game, I mean, look how many people Hannah's killed. I mean, albeit, yes, not exactly with plants this time, but you'd expect her to get the job done. Dexter then runs the blood from under Cassie's fingernails, and it turns out it's a match for Zach Hamilton, which I was surprised about at the time, but at this point, Dexter's like, you know what, I'm going to keep this to myself. I plan to kill Zach. Dexter then thinks, this guy, what a waste. Had a future, and he's went and ruined it. So, looks like Nikki Walters is going to be the new lab assistant. Masuka's daughter. She's going to do all the paperwork. Dexter's then leaving work. And Quinn's like, what do you make of these photos? Shows him the photos of Cassie and Norma. Quinn's like, I think Zach Hamilton could be responsible for the former's death. Obviously, Quinn at this point still trying to impress. Basically shoot himself up because he obviously got rejected for sergeant, which is an absolute disgrace, folks, right? Absolute disgrace. Dexter's like, well, you know what? Zach's DNA wasn't at Cassie's crime scene. And Quinn, I like you. You need to lay off for the sake of your career because it could cost him a hell of a lot. Dexter then meets with Dr. Fogel. Zach's no returning the phone calls. Fogel's like, you know what, Dexter, you're going to find it difficult to kill Zach because what could have been? Dexter's like, nope, I'm going to do it. Back at his apartment, he then tracks credit cards of Zach's down to the Florida Keys. So, essentially, what happens here, Dexter and Hannah will head down there, but we have a conversation between Deborah and Dexter first, and Dexter's like, yo, once I get rid of this whole situation and I get her a passport, she'll be out of our lives for good. It's like, are we really buying that, Dex? Deborah accuses him of lying to himself, and you know what? Can't really disagree with that. He's like, but I can't stand another, set of questions after what happened to LaGuerta. It's a valid point, if she gets arrested, she could rap, but here she didn't rap back in season 7, despite knowing a lot. But Dexter, it's like, right, he gets her the passport photo, and then he's like, oh, why don't you come with me? Why don't we go to the Keys tonight, damn it? Why don't we go into the Keys? Elway and Deb arrive at the Fiesta Marina, but the yacht is gone, because Deborah at this point is like, right, this is pretty much the damning point of this season that ties a lot of fates. But at this stage, Deborah enlists Elway's help with getting Hannah Mackay. And it's like, why are you doing this, man? So it's like, there's a $250,000 bounty on her head, and he's like, right, I'm doing it, and it's like, Deb, man, you've dropped the fucking ball here. You've dropped the ball. Jamie freaks out, and Quinn's like, when I catch the killer, you won't be scared anymore. And she's like, if it was Deb asking you to stay, you wouldn't even put up a fight. And Quinn's like, Deb wouldn't ask me to stay. She'd want me to catch the killer as bad as I do. And then Jamie Batista leaves. It's like, you know what? Just end this relationship. Quinn does promise to stay with her, but it's like, why not just end it here? Why not just end it? Deborah then puts a GPS tracker on Dexter's car. She's like, why the fuck is he going to the Keys? What is going on here? Dexter then tells Hannah when he's driving that Zach is someone that Fogel thought he could mentor, but he disappointed me. So we're not going to do that. Hannah's like, you know what? I think Zach Hamilton is a problem, Dexter, that you're going to have to solve. So we'll see how this goes down. Deborah then is following Dexter down to the Keys. along the way, though, Dexter and Hannah, they stop at like a fish shack. There's a fish shack. Sitting at a picnic table, and at this point, she's like, Dexter, what is going on here? What are we doing? And then she calls him a flirt and a master manipulator, which is a key thing, because what did Batista call him in Resurrection? He called him a fucking master manipulator, and it's damn right. But Zach's still using his credit cards, and he's at this motel, and it's like, Jesus Christ, what are they going to do? Zach has rolled his own bit of plastic here in this room, so Dexter's like, well, you know what? How perfect way to kill Zach in this room. Brilliant. Quinn then meets with Oliver at an outdoor cafe, and it's just like, what's going on here? Oliver, though, lies about knowing who Zach Hamilton is. He's like, nah, I don't know who that is. Personally interested. I've never seen him before, but obviously has seen him before outside the apartment. So at this point, we're thinking, what is going on? Quinn, Masuka, and Matthews are watching Nikki basically in the lab. But you know, a bit of a pointless scene, but I don't like the way they've misused Matthews in this show. Right? I think there's been points where the guy's been great. Seeing he was up with Glitter's arse and he was helping her as well with the Bay Harbour Butcher case, and you know, Dexter's talking to him about Harry. I think there's been so many great scenes with Matthews, but I think looking back on this show, he's been really underutilised in my opinion. Matthews then asks Quinn's about leads on Cassie's murder case, and Quinn's like, there's none worth talking about. Right, so let's see what happened here. Zach returns to the motel room. Dexter gets him against the wall. And essentially, Zach didn't do it, but he was trying to kill Sean Decker, who killed the girl 2 years ago on spring break and bragged about it. So, are we going to kill him now, man? Sean Decker? No, because he's already been killed. He's in the back of Zach's truck, and it's like, Jesus Christ, what in the name of holy is going on here? So, yeah, Zach's following the code, so Dexter's actually kind of impressed at this point. Hannah throws the plastic in a dumpster. Deborah then comes back into the room. Deborah's there with the handcuffs, and you think at this point, what the fuck is going on here? And then Dexter returns to find these two in a bit of a standoff, bit of back and forth. He was like, oh, why do you want to destroy Dexter's happiness? But Dexter is so off the rails at this point. I love the fact that in Resurrection, Dexter is back to like early seasons Dexter. I feel like season 8 Dexter is just like a whole new level of fucking chaos. I mean, it's intriguing, but I think considering what's happening here is just a bit cringe. But yeah, it's like, what the fuck is going on? Zach then enters the room. Him and Deborah ask each other at the same time, who the fuck are you? And Deborah can't quite believe what's going on. She's like, you know, if you've got a serial killer club, just fucking deal with it. And you can't really blame this situation. It's absolutely crazy. Jamie Batista. Dun, 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 dun. She's cooking as Harrison's watching TV, and Batista's like, you can stay as long as you want. Don't be scared, big man. We've got more conversations with Fogel. Who the fuck cares? Because now Fogel's talking to Hannah. Hannah McKay. Hannah McKay. I actually like calling her both ways. The American way and the Scottish way, brother. Right, moving on. Dexter then books a hotel room for Hannah. Here, he's like, I'll pick you up, we'll say goodbye in the morning. Why don't you go to Argentina? You've got a new passport and credit card under the name Claire Thompson. El fucking generico. But he goes to leave, but Hannah kisses him and they sleep together. I mean, who blames Dexter Morgan for wanting to sleep with Hannah here? But anyway, he does it nonetheless. So, yeah, Dexter then returns to his apartment. You gotta make your own kind of music. This and Lost have really turned this song into, you know, like, crazy here. He goes into his apartment and Zach is in his chair, but his chair turns around and his head is sliced open. He phones Fogel, who's holding a section of Zach's brain in a jar. So yeah, pretty sad that Zach Hamilton's dead, I guess, for Dexter. But a nothing character, really. And the whole mentor thing was just never ever going to work. It was a fucking pipe dream, if we're being honest, man. Let's just call a spade a spade. Anyway, yeah, moving on, I guess. Elway then calls the US Marshal Services. It's like, right, Hannah McKay is here. Hannah McKay. Let's just sort her out. She's going under the alias of Maggie Kastner. Oh, hell no. So Zach's body gets dumped into the ocean. Then in the morning, Dexter's like, right, how about you stay in Miami with me, Hannah, as she was about to board a seaplane. This is just a disaster. I mean, the fact that Elway and Kozik, the marshal, are going to bring down Dexter and Hannah Mackay at the end of this season is crazy. Big Hannah McKay. Mental, mental, mental. Anyway, what am I going to give this? Thought it was a bit better than the last one, and I thought Zach's death was pretty good for the most part. I'll give it a 6. Season 8 though, man, it's just, it doesn't give you final season vibes. It just feels very mumbo jumbo and rushed. It feels like it was very rushed. Very rushed indeed.